This is day 325 of Zohar Pshat, and we're on Daf Lamavav and Rav, and we're up to the Yisor Amre. We'll start from Yisor Amre, which is 5 lines at the bottom. Yisor Amre l'chadu miyatila. Now the Pshat, most Pshat in that pasuk in Tehillim Daf Silim Kapitel Samachay, Perak Samachay, is that for you silence is praise. You Akash Baruch Hu, how can we praise you enough? Another praise we say is insufficient, so therefore silence is praise. But the way the Zohar Kodesh learning, and it seems the Radak learns there's something similar. It's that Chadu Miyot means that for you, praise has been silenced in the Golus. In other words, we'd love to praise you properly, but we can't in Golus. And that seems to be what the Zohar is saying here. Amil Chadu Miyot my Dumiyah. What is Dumiyah? What is silenced in Golus? Da Tehillah David. A fascinating thing. We say yesterday, Dumiyah B'Galuso, Shtika B'Loko. Tehillah David, which is supposed to be the greatest praise, which is why it's the core Psukah de Zimra, Ashrei, is silence in Golus, because it's all about Melech, and going on to, of course, all these praises are not apparent in Golus. So therefore, even though we say Tehillah David 3 times a day, right? we say it over and over again. But the idea is that the full praise, which is the Tehillah David is supposed to represent, being able to tell over all the miraculous doings of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that is not apparent in Golus, and therefore it's silenced in Golus. It can be stated, and kind of like the Zohar, as Dibur without Kol, right? Because we don't really feel it when the Shekhinah is in Golus, and we don't see all the Gilui Kavod Shamayim, which seems to be the basis of our discussions in Tehillah David. By the way, this thing which totally off on a tangent, but people don't learn Tehillah David properly. Tehillah David is actually a dialogue, right? Right? I'll say this, they'll say that. And then I'll say this. They're going to say that. So on and so forth. There's a whole discussion, dialogue between the David HaMelech, the Baal Tehillim, and the people to whom he's speaking, or the people who's having a interaction of some sort, how to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this, evidently, this type of interaction doesn't take place, according to the Zohar, when the Shekhinah is in Golus, where things are not apparent. So that's it says, my dumya dati el David. Can't have a conversation. The dumya galusa shtika beloko. Even though you can say the diburim without the kol, because we don't have the core of our connection to Kodesh Baruch Hu, which is the basis for this whole conversation with David. Rabbi Yitzchak said, my lecha, sorry. Lecha dumya tihila. What is lecha? So again, the assumption is that the simple shot is to you, but it says no. Beginach, on your account. On your account, there is silence and quiet. The the kol has been removed. So the cha, evidently here represents the kol, because the cha represents the Lamed going up above the line, the Chaf going down below the line, the connection from on high to below. That Lecha is in Golus which is of course represents number 50, the 50 gates. So that Lecha is silence in Golus. So therefore the Kol is lacking, and since Kol is lacking, so therefore the Tehillah is also lacking, and so we can't fully praise the Kodesh Baruch Hu when we're in Golus. Okay, that's the first part of the Zohar for the day. Next part, Kachmi Piryo. So Chava took from the fruit. Hatina we learn Sochta Novim. So that's according to the opinion of Eitzadas was grapes. Sochta Novim. She squeezed the grapes obviously, and she gave it to Adam Rishon. B'Krimu Misil Musul Chahama. She caused that the entire world. Because this tree Bei Sharia Moisa. There's death involved in it. If we learn the Shalta Belelia. And here the Zohar is picking up a very fascinating thing about the Eitzadas. It's the tree which is in control at night. In other words, this is like in darkness. This tree of Tovara is operative, and it can create death as a result. When Eitz Hadas Tovara is in effect, so therefore all of people can experience death. Because evidently there's the especially the way Chava did it, like we said yesterday, she took from the fruit and not from the tree. So then there is this separation. So how do you avoid this death? Now, Tamu Tam Moisa here seems to mean not the literal death. It means to mean sleep. At night you sleep, and that's a taste of death. Okay, so at the Lila here means not just darkness, but literal night. And Shalta Me'ama means not just when you're dead, but you're alive. Not just when you're actually have death, but when you go to sleep. And evidently, there's this idea that sleep is a forgetting of a connection to Shamayim. It can be, because sleep, a person's not thinking, so a person's consciousness is not connected to a Kosh Baruch Hu, and that gives a place for separation, and that's akin to death, where there's this separation from a person's consciousness. Consciousness goes somewhere else, so it has dreams, and a person's body is left without that consciousness. So so what do? You're about to confront the situation. So Zohar goes off here a bit of a tangent. People who have emunah, they say, you know what? I have to. You're right. We're going to separate now from my consciousness. You take over my consciousness, because Baruch will do with it what you want, and hopefully you'll do good things with it, right? And since you're giving it to you as a bikadain, I give it to you as for safekeeping. You have to give me back my soul in the morning, so to speak. That's why it says, I have emunah in you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, at night. So Eitz Hadas Tovara represents the nighttime, when a consciousness is not connected to a body. So to a person can only the ruach shtus removes the consciousness from the body, right? And therefore you're not paying attention to what you should be doing. And the shena, which is echad mimisa, death, sleep, was 1/60th of death, also removes the consciousness of the body, but you're supposed to give conscience has to be called the Kosh Baruch Hu. And there's amazing, the Tzitzi Zohar here references a Ketzos. The Ketzos, when is the Zohar quoted by the Ketzos? But he is. The Ketzos is similar down, quotes a parallel to the Zohar. Not the Zohar over here, but a parallel Zohar. But it's a similar thing, which says, Haloch Lamaisa. If I give you a pikado, and I owe you money, you can't, according to the Zohar, and according to the Ketzos says, you can't keep that item I gave as safekeeping as collateral on the money that I owe you. They're two separate things. Just say we give our neshamas as pikdainas to Kosh Baruch Hu every night. We say Kosh Baruch Hu, because we're saying to him is, listen, I'm only giving you. Yes, the truth is I'm chayav. I owe you so much, and the truth is you can take my neshama Rachmana litzlan, but I give my neshama as pikadon. So if it's pikadon as for safekeeping, you have to give it back to me in the morning. You can't hold it for and say, well, since you owe me other stuff, I'm going to hold it your neshama as collateral. No. If it gives as collateral, it gives as pikadon to somebody, even though he owes you money. I'm sorry, it says because for safekeeping somebody, even though you, the person who gave pikadon owes you money. You can't hold pikadon and say, I'm not giving it back to you until you back the money. Oh, you mean they're two separate transactions? Okay, fascinating. So I should derive that from the Zohar, of course.